children to come to me. Jesus did say that. But it's the same Jesus who overturned the tables of the money changers. All right? He didn't take a vote. He didn't walk in and to talk to them to see what they felt like, see if they felt like leaving. No, he just came in and turned over the tables. All right? Some things you just don't need to vote on. All right? That same Jesus, the gentle one with the children, all right, and the same one who turned over the tables, is now talking to the Pharisees here, telling them right from wrong, you know, making it very direct. So Jesus was talking about what they were doing wrong. Okay, woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You don't want Jesus calling you a hypocrite, and you don't want Jesus saying woe to you. Right? So it's on us as individuals. See, don't go looking around the room. Don't go looking around. Don't go down the list and think about this person is that way and this person is that way. I know people who are doing it. No. It's not about other people. It's about you. Right? You just look at your own behavior. You just look at yourself. Look at what the Pharisees were doing that was wrong. Check yourself out and see if you're doing any of those things that Jesus clearly said was wrong. All right. Jesus said they were hypocrites, and I said earlier, a hypocrite is a person that doesn't do what they say. I went to the dictionary for that too. A hypocrite, another way to say that would be a person who pretends, a pretender, a person who deceives. One dictionary just said a liar, just a liar. Okay, let me give you a little more flavor for that. Another way to look at that would be somebody who's just phony. They're just plain phony. They are a fraud. The person is a fake. All right, they're just faking it. That's a hypocrite. Somebody who doesn't practice what they preach. Now, the verse in question, verse 23. Jesus is saying, woe to you, Pharisees, woe to you, Pharisees, woe to you, Pharisees and teachers of the law, you snakes, you vipers. He's saying all these things. In the middle of that, Jesus does mention one other little thing that they do happen to do right in the verse we just read, in verse 23. What does it say? You give a tenth of your spices, mint, dill, and cumin, but you have neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. You should have practiced the latter. The latter would be justice, mercy, and faithfulness, without neglecting the former. The former would be the tithing of the spices, mint, dill, and cumin. Okay, or the tithing. That's really what he's talking about. Now, please understand that the Pharisees had a job. All right, their job was to take care of the tabernacle. What they were doing was they had little gardens on the side, and they wanted to show how holy they were, even taking these little things out of the garden, spices. They were not in the spice business. They were just raising a few spices in their own little personal gardens. Okay, so they would take even a tenth of that. And to take it, but see, their purpose for doing it was to show how holy they were, how they were really following the letter of the law. That's why they did it. Jesus said, okay, fine, you did that, that was an okay thing, but you're missing the big picture. All right, you're missing the big picture. That's what Jesus was saying here. He was also saying, you should have practiced the latter, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. He's talking about those were things that are in the law, the Mosaic law. All right. Now, I'm not talking about individual verses that say this is how you do justice, this is how you do. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, what Jesus was implying here, what I'm saying that Jesus is implying here is that they were to obey the entire law. Okay, the entire law. Now. So then, let me ask you, was Jesus speaking to Christians, you and I now, to say that we're supposed to obey the entire law? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In an upcoming session, I will cover a lot of the verses that teach about us being free from the law. It's very important. We need to understand that. No. So let me answer. So the Old Testament laws were still in effect. So Jesus told the Pharisees they should be tithing. You should be show yourself. The man that he healed of leprosy, show yourself to the priest. Those things were supposed to happen. So let's answer the questions that I brought up. When did the New Testament start? It started at Pentecost. All right, so all of Jesus' ministry, that was things that occurred under the Old Testament. All right, so as he ministered to the Israelites, he would direct them, and correctly, of course, Jesus was correct on that issue, he would direct them to obey the law and to do those things that the law required of them. All right. So my next question was, are all of Jesus' words directed for Christians to actually do? I've already answered that. No. All those things are not for us to actually do. Okay, the things that he said, open the door, put the boat out, tell them to take off the grave clothes. All those things aren't things for us to actually do. Excuse me. However, there are things we can learn from everything Jesus said. Absolutely. At the same time, as I just pointed out, we shouldn't be too technical and try to say that the warnings in Matthew 23 don't apply to us. No, that would be incorrect. If we are doing the same things that the Pharisees and teachers of the law were doing, then he's speaking to us now. The last question, did Jesus tell Christians to tithe? Already answered that. The answer is no. A better question really is, did Jesus tell Christians that you and I, is he telling us that we're supposed to obey the entire Mosaic law? No, we would need to be sacrificing animals. We need to. You couldn't walk too far on the Sabbath day. The Sabbath is Saturday, by the way. There's a whole lot of things that we'd have to do different if we were obeying the law. But see, that would be a waste, because then the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus would mean nothing if we tried to obey the law. Jesus died to set us free from that. I'm stopping here. Thank you for watching or for listening. I hope you'll join us next time.